A great proposal starts with a great first impression. So in this video, we're going to take a look at what makes a great cover page, including how you can create one and add it to your templates to impress your clients before they even start scrolling through. Let's jump in. Okay, so we'll start off in this template here and show you the design features and how this is sort of put together. Basically, what we need to note is that I'm using a cover page here as opposed to a blank page or a standard content page. And the reason for that is you want to be able to move the items around the page like this in a non-grid format in order to create a really nice structure for this cover page. So the other thing to note is that the background here is static. It's not an image, and I wouldn't recommend putting an image in and then sort of stretching it to the confines of the page. Definitely better to sort of have a background static. And the way that you can go about creating that very, very simply is using Canva. So you can jump straight into Canva and just type in something like business proposal, and you'll end up with all of these here. And what I would typically do to sort of pull together something that's aligned to a client is use something like, pick one that makes the most sense to you, but you could grab something like this one here and then go ahead and customize the template. Now, when you arrive in here, what you might like to do is just remove the wording, remembering roughly where they were, because design-wise, it actually looks quite nice like this and pretty streamlined. But you can remove this logo, and then you could use this as a page. So download this page basically here, and then upload it directly into the cover page properties area here. So under background image. So upload it there. And what you'd end up with is this, oops, where are we? Here, this, without any of the text. And then what you can do is you can overlay the text into that image and put it where you'd like it to be so that it sort of it works well there. Other things to note, in a cover page, of course, you can have dynamic text in here. So you could have your variable fields, mapped in here. You could have like client company, for example. And could say something like this, and I can make this a little bit smaller so that it fits into the space. So we go say 68 there, so that it's relevant to that particular client. You can do things like have your have your created by, if you're running a company that has multiple sales team members, you might have send a first name, send a last name, and then your business name sort of hard coded there, and also prepared by. It's nice to have that, and the client knows when they receive it that it is from your business. The other thing that I see quite typically is people put images on the cover page. So you can drag an image block over and pop that in there. But the other option is, of course, if you want the image to be a certain way, maybe take up a certain space in here, you might say have an image. Oops, let me copy that and pretend this is an image. You might like it to have an image that sort of aligns completely to the side here. So doing that in Canva will lock that image on that page, but it will mean that it will align perfectly, and you won't have to sort of muck around with the way that it styles with the image block within PandaDoc. So hopefully that makes sense. You can also, and it's definitely a topic for another discussion or another video, but you can also do sort of like dynamic cover pages based on variable fields from your CRM. So say you had client industry equals, I don't know, healthcare. You might have a cover page in your content library that gets pulled into the proposal template that has a healthcare industry image on it. That's definitely possible, and that's using sort of the more slightly more complex workflow features, etc. within PandaDoc. So this is one example of a template. This is my business proposal template for pure proposals. There are other templates in the library you can use. So you can also go ahead and use something like this service delivery agreement template, and then you'll be given something like this. So you can edit the text. You can, maybe this image I think is a background image, so just the text is editable here, but you can see what is possible. My recommendation, definitely build it aligned to your branding, of course, and use Canva as a starting point, because it definitely has some great proposal templates in there. So yeah, that's how you go about adding a proposal template cover page. And the cover page is particularly nice because it displays immediately for the client to see, and then when they're seeing that, they get a perspective of, yep, this is the person, this is the business, sorry, that I've contracted with or am receiving an offer from, basically. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Any questions, just drop them in the comments, and I hope to see you again soon.